finish these. I think the stream is on. Let me check if it's available on my YouTube timeline. Cannot see it yet. Let me see. Yeah, something is happening. Yeah, it's online now. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it works. So I can share this. Just a second. All right. Part 2. Testing the ZX Diag Cart. Yep. Okay, so I actually moved my camera so we can so you can see any other corner, this corner here, if they work or not. I hope. Let me check. Yeah, the microphone is working as well here. Hey Mark, yes it works. Thank you. All right. Let me close the other windows I've got open here. Just a second, please. Yep. Okay, I can see my own stream, which is always nice to make sure it works. So we just have to install a couple of chips before continuing, and then we're done. I hope I was messing up the title of the previous part 1 of this stream, so it works. So I had a very short meeting with my daughter's teachers, so that had to be done, and for that I had to cancel or stop the stream for a minute. But I'm back, and we're going to finish these. And as I said, we actually have the second camera aimed at the ZX Spectrum setup, so we can test it properly. I'm just wondering, I think the Hardican board I've got on the test bench is one without a speaker, so maybe it's good to pick another one, but otherwise, I will see. We'll do it on the other side. Okay, so these boards are ready. They should work without any problem. The ROMs are programmed. I store them programmed, so I know that everyone I will pick up is working. So all the chips are in, and the rubber feet are present on the back. Yep. Oh, serial numbers. Serial numbers. Before continuing, serial numbers. Yep, that's number 2, and that's number 3. Alright. Don't use alcohol to clean these boards. If you want to use alcohol to clean these boards, remember your serial number, otherwise you will wipe it off. And I'm even using these Sharpie paint ones because otherwise the ink will get off more easily. These are the expensive Sharpies, but still you can get the serial number off quite easily with alcohol. So remember that. Otherwise you don't know which serial number yours is, and I have no idea how to find another simple way of adding serial numbers than doing it this way. Of course I can put something over the serial numbers once I write them on there, but well, anyway. Okay, let's get to the other side and see if they work. So, right. Let's see. Yeah, camera works. So this is a Hardican 128 board. Inside this development case, it originally had a, I think no, it didn't have a heatsink on the side. So this is not a standard toast rack case. Many people ask me, so hence I explain. We got audio by the toast rack board, so Hardican board, so it will beep when we power it on. And let's see if the die card actually works with the first test. Hey, it works. All the LEDs are blinking, the ones which should be blinking anyway. As you can see the blue ones on top. Let me see if we can actually see it. Yeah, that's good enough. The red ones will blink if I put the switch that way. So you can check if all the data lines are operating as they should. You can see the M1 line is getting data and memory request and read as well. So everything is working properly. Of course, LEDs can be fixed to 5 volts and then they will blink, light up all the time, like these ones here. And these ones light up all the time because there's no ROM switching, for example. There's no non-maskable interrupt or I/O request. And in this case, if you install diffMC, for example, in between, you will see the I/O LED is blinking as well. And when you press reset, you will pull down the reset line and you will see that it will go down for the moment you press the button as well. We'll test it in a second. The power lines here, you can see only 5 volt and 9 volt is lighting up. Not sure if you can see it on the... Yeah, you can see it properly on the camera. And that's because the Harlequin board doesn't have 12 volts or minus 5 volts. It doesn't need it, so it's not on the board, not created on the board. The ROM is functioning quite well. So let me show you what happens when you press reset, and you can see the LED will go down. Oh, everything will go down actually. So that's another test, but I don't think watching the reset line is that important. Otherwise, maybe for knowing if there's something wrong with that line, but I've never encountered something like that. So this one is working properly, and there are loads of other stuff. If you don't know, you can see you can press the U to test the ULA chip. There's no ULA chip, of course, but you can see if your Z80, for example, is a CMOS one or an NMOS one. So in the Harlequin boards, I always prefer having a CMOS one because it's low power and works fine with Harlequin kits. But in original ZX Spectrums, I'm always using NMOS type. The original ones from Sinclair were NMOS types, so that's important to know. And CMOS types don't really work quite well in an original ZX Spectrum. So they work perfectly in a Harlequin board, not in on an original ZX Spectrum. Remember that. So if you replace Z80 in a original ZX Spectrum, use an NMOS type. Sorry for the bumping. And the problem is that if you order, for example, 10 NMOS Z80s on eBay or AliExpress, most probably half of them are CMOS types. So it's good to know if they're actually CMOS or NMOS, and you can see it using this utility, for example, which is built in the Diag Cart. There are more tests. This is just one of them. I'm not going to test them all at this moment. I just want to see if these 3 Diag Carts are working properly. Second one, yeah, working perfectly as well. And I'm going to do a short test with the original 48K board to show you how the power LEDs are blinking up. So we tested the machine already, so there's no reason of doing it again. The last one, let's see if this works. 3 out of 3. Will it work or will it not? Yeah, so all 3 boards are working just fine, and you can see all the LEDs blinking, which is important because if you heat up one of the LEDs too long, they die easily, and if that happens, you have to replace it. That's one of the reasons I have to test all of these boards, of course. So that's perfect. Now let's put one of the boards on the original 48K Spectrum, and I should also test it on a +2A. There's a reason for that. I will get into that in a minute. I'm using the mic output, and you will see that all the LEDs are lighting up now. Oh, it's a lot louder as well. And that's because on a original 48K board, you use 5 volt, minus 5 volt, plus 9 volt, and plus 12 volt. So you use all the power lines, hence I wanted to show that. We might have also included a minus 12 volt line. I'm not sure it's actually on the edge connector. I'm thinking of that. Yeah, it is. I think even minus 12 volts is on the edge connector on a +2A or +2B or +3. So we could have added it as well. Because, for example, my replacement power supplies and many other types as well do not supply minus 12 volts. And it would be good to know if it actually has that. But this is working good as well. I could test it with the other ones because I want to know if all the LEDs are working. So let's do it on this one as well. Yeah, okay, all the power LEDs are lighting up. So that's the quality check I'm doing here. And again, all of them light up as expected. And if we now test a +2A board, for example, sorry, +2B actually, this is a +2B board. And there's auto detection, so we do not need to configure anything on the ZX Diag Cart, but we need power. And you might think, why is he using the composite video cable? That's because I added composite video on the TA2000 chip, so that's okay. So I use the RF output connector for composite video. I'm just looking for a 12 volt power supply, and I do not have one available because I use it for some other purpose at this moment, so I'm going to use a brand new one here. These are the ones I include with the replacement power supply for the +2A, +2B or +3. Right, I cannot read the chat at the moment, we'll be back in a minute. Right, this is a 12 volt, 2 amperes, which is enough for a +2A and +3 even. Alright, let's plug it in and see what happens. And again, it powers up just fine. And now you see you have +5 volts and +12 volts and no 9 volts, because this one doesn't use the 9 volt line at all, and doesn't put 12 volts on a 9 volt line as well on the edge connector. So it has a separate 12 volt line on the edge connector now, which is all completely fine, works completely perfect as expected, because we already tested the boards here. So that's fine as well. And this is how I test loads of things, like for example, I use this board mainly for testing RAM chips for the +2A, +2B and +3. And what else do I test on this board? I don't know, maybe the RAM chips. Yeah, I think so. These are original ones, by the way. Why did I put stickers on them? I don't know. Anyway, so this is just totally fine, nothing wrong with these. So these three are ready, and they look quite nice with the colored LEDs. So usually I try to empty some stock of the completely transparent LEDs, which you cannot see which color they are when they're powered off. But for this video I made, I used the colored ones. So, all okay. So these three are ready. I'm going to pack them immediately. There's no reason why not. Sorry for my head. So once the product is tested, it immediately goes into an anti-static bag. Keep it safe. And of course when they're... Oh, I'm dropping the bag here. And of course when they're tested, they get a QCOK label on the bag to let people know that they're actually tested, as you have seen here. That's a small part of our way of working here. QC passed. So this one is ready. And of course I will still include the build manual, because there's more information in the manual than only how to build it. There's lots of information about how to use the Diag Cart. And when I started the manual, it was quite fun. I thought, well, it just have to be some information of some basic information how to use the interface, but it grew to 8 pages already, because there's so many things you can do with this Diag Cart. And some information, basic information, how to repair computers and how to diagnose faults, and you know, that's the reason why the manual is that big. I will show you in just a second. I have some manuals here. So this is a ZX Diag Cart manual. This is how to configure it with the jumpers, some basic information about that. This is how the Diag Cart software works, and if you have a memory error, where you can find the correct chip on your board. I think that's very useful. Then let me check. Oh yeah, of course, these are the explanation of the LEDs, what you can use them for, what you can see with them, and this is the build guide which I used to assemble them. So it's quite a lot of information, and I think there's a link to more information. Am I right? Yeah, look. So I got a page on bytelight.com for more information about the Diag Cart, so you can actually scan it in a manual or on this video if you want to. And it will get you to more information and the latest updates, and you can even update the ROM on the board itself. If you're new to, there might be new versions in the future. We already had one in the time of offering the Diag Cart, so there will be more, I guess, in the future. It's a very cool device. Let me get back to the other side. Alright, so let's get to that camera again. Yep. So 3 Diag Carts are ready. They tested and all. So Steve, they work without any problem with the first attempt. I'm very happy with that. It's quite important that they work at the first attempt, but many devices that I build do not work with the first attempt and need debugging. For example, if you use these very fine pitch chips like these ones here, you get solder bridges easily, even on the pick and place and the reflow oven. So there's a lot of things to check when you're producing electronics like this. I had a tour in a real big PCB assembly company a couple of months ago, and they do similar checks, but if you are interested. Of course their equipment is loads better than the stuff I have here, but they also have some visual check machines for that, which is quite cool. So they have machines where which I can program to visually check if parts are on the correct place, positions, and if they're positioned correctly in micrometers and even smaller. So it's quite cool what they do, and it looks a lot like the process we do here at bytelight, but bigger and with bigger machines and faster machines, of course. But still, it's important to check if your device that you make work. So I think that's it for this video. There's only 16 minutes, I know, but it works, and that's the main reason I want to show here in this part 2. So thank you for watching. I'm going to take a break and see what else I'm going to do today, and I will see you later, guys. Bye bye.